It was a sea of red in honor of Savannah, who we now know died from blood loss.
Take a look right here. You can see that this window is a little bit bent out of shape. And then if you take an even closer look, you can see two big handprints at the bottom of this window. There was a second attempt here, but he was unsuccessful. So the burglar came this way. And as you can see, this is patched up now. But before you could see straight through, the insulation and drywall is still here. Officers have been really busy here. They've been going in and out. This is the last spot where Savannah was seen. More and more people in our metro want security cameras just like this one. Well, now it's a total loss. Police say the meter kind of behind this bush was taken out, meaning no gas and no electricity running into the home. Paintball shells are the only thing that's left here after police say teenagers drove by this neighborhood road and then pelted the side of this home. Bob says that the vandals came over here and then reached for one of these stones, then walked over to some of the graves and threw them on top of the headstones. Moments ago, Fargo Police Chief David Todd has confirmed that Savannah Graywin's body has been pulled from the Red River. Law enforcement has blocked off a road and bridge. Vikings fans from across the country are holding their breath in anticipation, including those in Grand Forks, where bars are absolutely jam-packed. A particularly brave or crazy Vikings fan is getting a lot of attention on social media, and you'll see why in this clip.
This 2-year-old bull terrier, Artemis, is showing his owner who's boss. Like his dog, Kyle Raleigh is trying his best to win his own battle with Excel Energy.
It's not fair. It's not fair to him, and it's not fair to me having to deal with it, you know.
Kyle says his dog suffers from daily seizures, making him lose control of his bladder.
Yep, you guys, this is what I've been dealing with.
He says it started after a natural gas leak coming from this meter by his home.
After repairmen finished what they had to do, Kyle says that they didn't turn the gas off, which meant that his pilot lights weren't on and gas was just coming out of the stove.
Kyle says he walked in, smelled the gas, then saw his lifeless dog on the ground.
Well, the very first day that it happened, I was crying. I was very upset. I mean, I was in an angry rage.
Artemis is now on medication, making frequent seizures less severe, but it's just a temporary solution. Long-term, Castleton Veterinary Service recommends specialized treatment.
Ideally, with a complex case of toxin exposure, referral to a veterinary neurologist is recommended.
Excel says if Kyle can prove the seizures are gas-related, the company promises to pay after a claim is filed.
We're sympathetic, and if it plays out that was the case, that's why we have a claims process.
So far, Kyle has spent nearly $500 in medical costs for his dog since the gas leak. Money Kyle says he can't continue spending before getting reimbursed.
They're telling me it could be anywhere from a 30 to 90 day process. 30 to 90 days, and my dog sits here and suffers from seizures in the meantime. Brain damage continues to occur.
Kyle instead has hired an attorney who has notified Excel that they will take them to court if this settlement is not paid. They estimate over 12 years, bills will add up to nearly $20,000. One dog costing a small fortune. Angeline McCall, WDAY 6 News. As authorities on scene gather evidence, family came to this home not knowing if their loved one would still be there.
We had to come out and investigate for ourselves.
As the couple drove up, crime tape and BCA on scene collecting evidence for over 5 hours.
Now I know that most likely, it's Carl and...
That is 82-year-old Carl Albin, who lived in this home with longtime partner Olga Wilkowski, who passed away less than a week ago. Her funeral scheduled today for this afternoon.
He was a very good person, and he was, very bright. He would never have something bad happen.
The overnight events even surprising neighbors. Ron Honga first saw the scene this morning from his deck.
It's very shocking to realize that this happened here.
Ron says he didn't hear anything odd throughout the night. According to police, officers were called on scene here at this home after someone walked into the house here and discovered the 2 men's bodies inside. Police say an exact timeline of when the 2 men died will remain unknown until after an autopsy report that this couple, Dean and Cheryl, are still waiting on, along with more answers.
Sad.
Just shock. Just terrible shock. I can't believe it.
A grieving family wondering just what happened inside that could have led to such tragic circumstances. In Monaga, Angeline McCall, WDAY 6 News. This is the moment Oregon native Autumn Burke and her husband have waited for. But their dream would become a nightmare. A baby was never coming to fill this empty stroller.
I had a lot of dreams of seeing my husband hold our baby. And so having to let those dreams go and having to know how much pain it was going to cause our families.
It was Autumn who first realized something wasn't right. Too many excuses from Betty Jo. A woman Autumn says claimed to be arranging their adoption. She came to their house for a home evaluation, all for a fee.
It's hard for me to understand how anyone can get so personally involved with families and do this kind of thing to them and sleep fine at night.
Autumn was waiting on 5-month-old Jalissa, who they plan to rename Ruby, but Jalissa was never up for adoption.
Or expected anything like that. She played grandma to Jalissa. That was her grandma.
Jody Blackboy is Jalissa's mom. Autumn contacted her on Facebook to let her know Betty Jo was using her daughter's photo in what she calls an adoption scam. Jody made the allegations public on Facebook in September and found out she wasn't alone. Other victims came forward, including Grand Forks native Elena Ross. She says her son's photo was used in an adoption group chat involving Betty Jo.
My first thought was I was angry. I was so frustrated I wanted to cry because, I mean, that's my son's picture. That's my baby.
Elena says this photo was taken from her mom's Facebook page, then sent to a woman she didn't even know.
I was like posting pictures of my kid left and right, you know. As a proud mom, I was like, this is my son, my love and joy.
Yeah, that's cute, girl.
As for Autumn, she says Jalissa's photos were also sent to her, at one point on a weekly basis. Then came the fake documents. Then Betty Jo asked for $1,800. Money Autumn says she gave to Betty Jo because she believed she had a proven track record, promoting herself as an advocate for children. We did an interview with Betty Jo in 2012.
The people in North Dakota are very caring people. They have big hearts, but we're also naive.
But throughout her time as an advocate for children, Betty Jo continued to rack up a criminal record, convicted on multiple felonies and misdemeanors, counterfeiting, theft, and burglary. In 2012, she pled guilty to forging a check for over $30,000. More charges may be on the way as Stutzman County Sheriff's Office, along with the FBI and BCI, launched their own investigation on the adoptions.
At first, had to be around 7 calls a day. We still do have a couple calls that are still come in.
This 11-deputy sheriff's department struggling to keep up with its own patrols, and after death threats on social media, they've been forced to add extra patrols around the Krenz farm. Right outside of Woodworth, North Dakota, population 50, including Betty Jo and husband, Jason Krenz.
As you can see, there are no trespassing signs on the Krenz farm. We wanted to honor that, so instead we called Betty Jo on her last known number to see if she would talk with us.
Hello?
Hi there, Betty Jo.
I'm sorry. She's combining right now.
Is this Betty Jo? Because it sounds similar to who I was speaking to about a week ago.
No.
Betty Jo told me in a different conversation she had no comment about the allegations. But for these women who claim they're Betty Jo's victims, their sense of security is forever shattered.
But now I constantly want to be looking at him and know that he's next to me to feel comfortable or feel like he's safe, that I don't have to worry.
And for Autumn in Oregon, she has one message for other parents with hopes of adoption.
I really think you've just got to go through licensed agencies.
As for that empty stroller, Autumn hopes it will be filled soon, not by Ruby, but with a different child as they go through a reputable agency in hopes of bringing a child home.
It's been a dream for too long for us to turn our backs on that just because of one person. We believe that the right child will come along, and we believe that, everything happens for a reason.